Some basic edits in Photoshop. I already have my example photo up here of model 1. Okay, notice that when I open the photo, it just has the background layer. In order to make sure that we keep the original photo intact, we want to make a copy of this layer. So to make a copy, press Command J, and you'll have another copy in layer 1 here. Okay, if I want to rename that layer, I can double click on it, type in model to have that layer renamed, so it's a little easier for me to find. If I make any edits on this layer, so I say I paint on it, if I take the eye off here, it is only on that layer. It is not on that background photo. So I still have that original photo there, but model is the one edited. If I ever want to step back, if you just do one mistake, so if I just make this one mark, I can go Command Z, that's Edit Undo. If I want to step back further, you can go to Edit, Step Backward, or you can look at your History Brush panel here, your History panel, and you can simply click back, okay, to different things that I've done. You can drag those to the trash as well, but it is not necessary, so if I click back to here and I put another mark, you see those others delete. If I click back to here, you see those others delete. Okay, so those are some basic history panel there. Remember, Command Z is for that first undo if you need to make an undo. Next, let's look at the spot healing brush. So this is a quick selection tool. The spot healing brush is this little band-aid with the dots around it. And we're going to zoom in and look at our model's face here, and she has a little hair there. So we're going to get rid of that. What the spot healing brush does is it takes the pixels around what you drag to kind of replace and fix. So we're going to get rid of some of these little lines here and get rid of this mole by clicking once. Okay, pretty simple to use and generally does a pretty good job. I'm next going to try to get rid of her under eye circles. Oops, that does not look so good. So again, what the spot healing brush does is it takes the pixels around. So when I clicked here, it was pulling from the eye, and that's why we got kind of that look. So instead of the spot healing brush here, we're going to use just the healing brush tool. And this works a little differently. We're actually going to select what we want to copy instead of it doing it automatically for us. So we're going to hold down Option and click right underneath something we want to copy. So we want to copy this color of her skin rather than this black down here. So I'm going to hold down Option. You see those crosshairs pop up. I'm going to click what I want to copy. Go pretty much straight up. You see those crosshairs? That is what it's copying. So I'm going to get kind of close here, but then you can see the eye looks a lot better. We're going to do that again. I held down Option to select what I wanted to copy, go over it a little bit more to blend it a little bit. So now I hadn't made a new layer, so I had made those edits on her. Okay, so I want to make a new layer, Command J. I'm going to make those edits again so I can show the difference to you. All right, so if you want to see what you've done, you can always take the eye off your edited layer and you can see what I did there. Okay, so that is the healing brush tool. Next, I'm going to show you the clone stamp tool. It is different from the healing brush, but it is kind of similar because you're still getting the same, you still have to choose your source. So with the healing brush, right now I'm going to choose my source right here. I'm going to paint over here. Right now it looks like it's going to be exactly what I chose, but then it kind of fades in because it's still trying to fix that area. Now with the clone stamp, if I do that, I'm going to choose my source right here, come over here. You can see again, oh, change my mode, make sure that's on normal. Okay, I'm going to choose my source again. If I paint over here, it's going, oh, and my opacity is way down. We're going to go back a couple steps here. All right, so again, I'm going to choose my source. This is what the clone stamp does. It does it exactly. So you can kind of see the different effects here. With this one is the healing brush, okay? it kind of blends it in, copying it. With the clone stamp, you basically make it exactly the same. Alright, so I don't want those clone stamps or the healing brush, so I'm going to go back. To brighten up a photo, there are a couple different ways you can do it, but if you want to just brighten up the specific layer, you go to Image, Adjustments, you have different editing things here. I'm going to choose Brightness and Contrast, and I can make her pretty bright. Okay, I'm looking for her face. Her face looks good to me there, but now the background's a little washed out, but we can do something there. So instead of using the brightness contrast from image adjustments, we're going to use an adjustment layer. So in our adjustments panel, if we click on brightness contrast and then bring up the brightness there, you see it goes on to a different layer. When I went to image adjustments, it went on the layer itself. Okay, so if you choose one in the adjustments panel, you can create another layer. So what we could do on this mask here, we could go in and paint everything we don't want to be dark. So I could make my brush a little bigger and paint with black here if I don't want it to be dark. But say I kind of want it the other way around. I want to just make her face bright, and maybe this will take a little bit longer. So I'm going to undo this. You can easily flip this as well, going to Image, Adjustments, Invert, and now it's going to be black. But now we can paint on the edits. So instead of painting everything we don't want, now we're painting what we do want a little brighter. Maybe we can put some highlights in her hair. Okay, brighten that up. Oh, and if I got kind of on her shoulder there, hit X or this little switcher to go to my black to take some of that away. Okay. So now, here again, we're going to look to see what we've done. So there's before, and there's with our edits. Before and with our edits.